Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today's April the 15th, 2022. We're going to talk about Elon Musk hostile, trying to take over Twitter, trying to buy it outright. He's offering to buy Twitter, but you know what? Everyone has their own agenda. And I'm going to show you from the price chart as to what the majority of the market participants were doing with their own money. Were they trying to take this as an opportunity to sell their stake in Twitter, or were they actually trying to buy the market in Twitter based off this news about Elon Musk wanting to buy Twitter? Welcome to the channel. This is HueFin, also known as HueFin News. I do price predictions. I focus in on the price chart to see what everyone is trying to do with the money. Now, you guys can see that recently Elon has caused a insurmountable amount of uproar about Twitter, right? First, he was posing on Twitter, polls, questions, talking about edit buttons, talking about is Twitter the space for free speech. I get it. But then comes out and actually found out that he bought a 9% stake in Twitter. Hey, I'm not sure if I actually said this, but if you guys want to join me, hit the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I'm here to give you all a different viewpoint, a different perspective as to how this game is really being played, right? So if you guys want to join me, keep it locked in here. But now let's get back to this. So turns out he bought 9% stake in Twitter. Now, this is what caused all of this volume right here, right? It caused a new life to be brought into Twitter because nobody really wasn't paying attention to Twitter. But you add on one individual's name, Elon Musk, and now you see it garners life. It brought back life to this stock. It did. Let's keep it real. And those who are vested in Twitter, they're taking advantage of this opportunity. So now, turns out he wants to, Twitter, Elon, they were trying to come through and converse and see whether or not, hey, do you want a seat on the board or not? They offered a seat to him. He turned it down. Okay, cool. What is his true agenda? He bought 9% stake. He declined being on the board of Twitter, and then comes out yesterday, right here, that he wants to own Twitter. Now, come on. What's his agenda? For real? Is he really interested in buying Twitter? Is he really interested in you trying to have a fair, orderly, free area of speech, free speech arena? Is he really worried about that? Is he really worried about Twitter getting an edit button for tweets? What is his true agenda? Or now, is he trying to get off that 9% stake and he's trying to create interest, demand, so that he can sell his 9% stake back into the market? Because in order for you to sell that much stock, you got to create a buzz. You got to create uproar. You got to get people talking and get people to clicking on that buy button so he can sell it to you. Yes, you do. Or does he have a bone to pick with the SEC? So he's just causing a lot of drama with the SEC because he doesn't value their opinion. No, he has a couple of run-ins with the SEC and Tesla and a couple of tweets that he's done recently. You know what? It really doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what the market is doing off of this information. So look at this. I did a video on Twitter. It wasn't even long ago, right? Okay. It was on April the 12th. April the 12th. And you guys can see that I was playing in weakness into the market in Twitter. Now, what happened yesterday tells you that the market ain't believing Elon's going to buy Twitter. Like, nobody is believing it. Don't fall for it. If you think that that's a good thing for him to come through and buy Twitter, he's not going to do it because the market is not showing forth that they believe that it's going to happen. You know why? Because look at what happened in yesterday's trading. All of this volume was climactic. Again, it was about the same amount of volume when he first came out and said that he had a 9% stake. Same thing, right? Now, the market action yesterday, which is up here, the price opened pretty high, right? It opened up around $49, but only to close at the low end of the bar. There was more selling going on into the bar. People were selling the news. Yeah. Mostly everyone in the market yesterday in Twitter was selling that news because they don't believe that he's going to actually come through and purchase Twitter. No. But what if somebody else will? That can move price higher. Yeah. Like Microsoft or, Google or another formidable technology player who has a vested interest in trying to maintain a media conglomerate where you can control speech. Maybe they could bring price higher. Because what he was offering per share, market wasn't buying it. They're not taking him serious. So obviously, it seems as if Elon is trying to poke fun. To me, it seems as he's just trying to poke fun with the SEC. And when you have billions of dollars at your disposal, you can have quite a bit of fun. So now, are we still on course to see Twitter go lower? Because that's my price prediction. It is still there. You guys can still see it. I'm looking for the price in Twitter to go lower because they're not going to fool me on the news. I don't pay attention to the news to try to dictate where prices should be going. I look at what actually occurred. And basically, out of all of that volume that appeared yesterday, and the price in Twitter still ended up down 1.68%, people ain't buying that news that he's actually going to buy Twitter. Yes. The price chart gives us advance notice as to what the majority of the people is thinking. If that was great news, we would not have seen the market ended up closing down 1.68%. We would not see that, especially on this amount of volume that pulled through yesterday. Right? We would not see that. So let's see how we ended out on the week then. Okay, so look at this. Last week, which is right here, weakness. This last completed weekly price bar, which is here, we're still seeing people selling their stake in Twitter. People are selling. And maybe Elon is selling his 9% stake too. You won't know that until he reports it to the SEC, which will be after the fact. And you all will be left holding the bag, being in a worse position. Now, I can see this area though. I want everyone to pay attention to this price level because this is where price can actually come through and hold support. Okay, right there around 42. This is Twitter on a 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, monthly. You let me know. What do you see? Are you believing the news? Or are you going to believe price? Yes, I'm believing price. Okay. So we're still looking for the price to go lower. I'm not necessarily sure what I said my price targets were on the last video. So just go back and listen to it. It's in the playlist of my Twitter stock playlist. Go back and listen. I think I would say I'm seeing already that 42 could be a logical point to where we can see Twitter stock come in and try to grab support. But again, go back and listen to what I said as to where my price targets are at. But nothing has changed. Even with all of the uproar about Elon coming through trying to buy Twitter, price chart ain't falling for it. People are taking this as an opportunity to sell. All right. So let me know what you all think though. I'd like to get your perspective as to what you think he's really up to, what he's trying to accomplish. What is his true aim? What is his true goal? Because money don't lie. And regardless of what his agenda is, your agenda always needs to be, what is the money doing? Period. So we're already in position. I want you all to let me know though. What do you think? Make sure you maintain the profitability. And as always, trade different.